When I discovered my wife was cheating on me, it felt like the world had collapsed beneath my feet. We'd been together for 7 years, not flawless, but I thought we were steady, safe. One evening, while she was showering, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I wasn't looking to snoop, but something deep inside told me to check. The message read, "Can't wait to see you again, love. He'll never find out." My stomach dropped. The sender was a man I knew, Daniel, one of her co-workers. When I confronted her, she didn't even bother to lie. She just sat there, staring at the floor, silent and ashamed. When I asked how long it had been going on, she muttered, 6 months. That was all I needed to hear. Every late meeting, every emergency at work, suddenly made cruel sense. I packed a small bag, walked out the door, and didn't look back. The first few weeks were torture. Everywhere I turned, there were ghosts of her. The mug she always used, the blanket she curled up in during movies, her favorite song sneaking onto the radio. But pain has a strange way of sharpening you. Over time, the hurt turned into something else, focus, maybe even freedom. I started running again, met up with friends I'd drifted from, and eventually took a new job in a different city. 6 months later, I felt almost whole. I heard through a mutual friend that she and Daniel were living together now. It didn't bother me, or at least that's what I told myself, until one stormy evening, everything changed. There was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Daniel standing there, drenched, trembling, and pale as a ghost. At first, I thought it was some kind of sick joke. But then he said, "She ruined my life, too." I let him in, mostly out of shock, and maybe a touch of pity. He sat on the edge of my couch, dripping onto the floor, and poured his story out. She had taken everything from him. His money, his car, his trust, and run off with someone else she'd met online. He said he didn't know where she was now, only that she'd disappeared. He wasn't angry at me. His rage was aimed at her, and at himself. But as he talked, something in his tone shifted. He looked at me and said, "You moved on so easily, like none of it ever mattered." I told him it mattered, that it nearly broke me. But I made a choice, to move forward instead of sinking. That only seemed to enrage him more. He accused me of being detached, of pretending to be the victim while she played us both. Watching him unravel, I realized something. She had wrecked both our lives, but only one of us had managed to escape her orbit. He was still drowning in her shadow, and I was finally free. I watched his mind slowly unravel under the weight of guilt and bitterness. When he left that night, I thought that was the end of it. But 2 days later, the police called. Daniel had gone to his ex's new boyfriend's house and started a fight. It turned violent, and he ended up in jail. The officer asked if I knew anything about his mental state. I told the truth. He was angry, broken, and completely lost. That moment made me reflect deeply on how revenge eats people alive. Daniel couldn't let go of what she'd done, and it consumed him from the inside out. I, on the other hand, had only found peace by walking away. I realized that revenge doesn't fix pain. It only spreads it, like an infection. Months went by without a word about my ex or Daniel. Life grew quiet again. I started seeing someone new, kind, patient, and steady. She knew everything that had happened and said she admired how I handled it. But it wasn't strength that carried me through. It was learning when to stop fighting the past. One afternoon, a letter arrived with no return address. Just my name written in shaky handwriting I instantly recognized. It was from Daniel, sent from prison. He wrote that he regretted everything. The fight, the anger, the obsession. He said he wished he'd just let go like I did, that he finally saw how pointless revenge really was, and how she had never been worth the destruction it caused. I folded the letter and tucked it away in a drawer, not out of sympathy, but as a reminder. A reminder of what I had escaped. Love can blind you, betrayal can scar you, but clinging to either for too long can destroy you. I chose to let go. He didn't. Now, when I look back, I don't see her anymore. I see myself, steadier, stronger, wiser. The man who walked away and rebuilt his life. Because sometimes, the greatest revenge isn't hurting those who hurt you. It's becoming someone they could never break.